Hello, my name is Sarah, and today we're going to discuss the once popular game turned into lost media, Star86. Remember to watch this video in a well-lit room and keep a safe distance from your TV. The MMO is a broad genre of video games that still reigns popular among most gamers, turning a personal experience where you can have a little fun on your own into a shared experience. This genre was able to connect many people in ways you couldn't imagine. Though these types of games have their many strengths, a lot of these take massive amounts of money to run and maintain. During the 2010s, there was a large spike in popularity for MMO games, but despite the trend, only the strongest and most successful MMOs were able to survive this. Due to all that though, a lot of those games from that time were often forgot about, even by their own companies, for how big of a failure they were. But in the midst of these MMOs, there was one that stood out. Star86, originally known as Big Little Bang, was an avant-garde MMO game that encouraged kids to create music collaboratively while offering an expansive virtual world and various minigames. This was different from many other virtual worlds, which were either still in 2D or looked a bit more archaic than other 3D games. As a result, the game stood out like a sore thumb in the midst of other games that wanted to teach you about stuff like morals or animals or how to do math. The game centered mostly on both an astronomic and musical theme anywhere you go. When you weren't making music, you could go explore an entire planet. And when you weren't exploring an entire planet, you could learn about planets, stars, and astronomy through more educational means. However, after only 1 year of being officially released, Star86 shut down in June of 2014. The game itself would be completely lost media, as the company and its staff seemed to have completely forgotten about it. No one in the game's development team or staff would speak about it, and the exact reasons for the closure still remain unclear today. It is speculated that it was due to a declining player base and loss of money, but what was really going on behind the scenes? What really caused this once successful game to die? Let's look into it, shall we? Star86 is a virtual world based in the ever-so-expansive outer space. You might be quite surprised that a game like this would run just off of a website on the Unity 3D engine. Right off the bat, the game's UI is simplistic and bubbly, and the 3D models aren't very detailed, but they're honestly kinda cute and innovative for the quality at the time. To the average player, the game is quite aesthetically pleasing. The character you play as is a simple-looking avatar called a double. There are 3 very unique and customizable body types for doubles that you can choose from. In the game, you live in a customizable spaceship, which you can decorate in any way you please. You can use this spaceship to discover many different planets. Unlike the planets of our world, though, these planets manifest through the power of music and song, with many different themes that exist. Each planet has their own unique music, giving the game itself a very broad and musical soundtrack. A lot of the music is actually very well composed and ties well to the themes of the planets, though there are a few exceptions.
Hey, I got money, it's out of control, cause they want me for my gold. What's up?
You could find a number of unique planets, from grassy forested areas to long stretched out roads to literal planets made entirely out of food. From these planets, you're able to collect musical instruments and use them to mix and sequence music. Then, from the sequencer, you can upload songs straight to YouTube. Sadly, there is zero footage of the main sequencer that exists today, but there is footage of some of the smaller in-game sequencers. You can basically see how they work, and they're actually pretty easy to use. It was unlike any other game in the sense that you, a simple-minded 6-year-old, can learn to take samples of music and blend them together however you please. In fact, that was the age I was when I played Star86, and I could still find songs that I made under my account on YouTube. Which to me was some of the most mind-boggling stuff, considering that I was still sucking on my thumb at the time. But the fact that the game easily teaches many kids how to sequence music and succeed at it is something you can't scoff at. To this day, the YouTube channel Star86 Records has 2.1 thousand videos, each of them being a uniquely sequenced song. All these videos add up to 63 hours of music, which is roughly 2.5 days. Some of the songs are random and unorganized, while others are actually pretty well composed. Either way, you can check out the channel yourself if you want to see the work that have been made. Also, users that pay for VIP, which is basically a membership subscription for extra features, can also upload video footage through the game itself. After recording footage, the video would be uploaded through the YouTube channel called Dubble TV. This channel still exists today, and you can view almost 5,000 videos, which amounts to 3 days of footage from players in-game. So, with such an amazing and well-executed idea, there has to be a face behind all the cute little characters. Who really is behind the success of this game? How exactly did this game blow up? Star86 was founded by a company now known as Drumleaf. So, where did the Drumleaf company start? Well, it started as a small concept that entrepreneur Chris White came up with while attending college. White was a smart, cunning young man of many ideas, but he had one prominent idea. White thought of a business idea that would involve mixing and making music collaboratively over the internet. After taking an entrepreneurship program and receiving his postgraduate degree in creative arts, he began to develop his concept further. He founded company Podscape Holdings Ltd in 2008 and trademarked the name for his idea, Big Little Bang. The earliest documented business pitch for Big Little Bang was seen in a video for Fast Pitch 2009, which is an event similar to Shark Tank in which you had to consolidate your business pitch into 60 seconds. White won the best pitch for Podscape Holdings Ltd and supposedly received $900,000 to work on the game. After this, Podscape Holdings began trading as Big Little Bang. White began to show how professional and charismatic of a businessman he could be, planting the scenes for his soon-to-be game. After another year of gathering more investors, developing a team, and creating the game, Big Little Bang's beta released in the year of 2011. Within less than a year, White says the game had over 17,000 registered users, and the game's player base grew by 50% a month. The game had already found a loving and growing community within a small time frame, and things looked generally positive. Now, 2012 was when the bomb went off for Big Little Bang. At the time, you might see a Big Little Bang advertisement on a website like YouTube. The explosion was seen everywhere, and the shockwave was felt by many. Many virtual worlds were booming, and the game boomed with them. Its growth was exponential, and many people began to play it around the time. During this year, they had around 500,000 registered users, about 97% the amount they had the year before. This was a lot more than White had expected. He kept looking for more investors, taking interviews, and stating that soon, the player base was expected to be in the millions. Meanwhile, Big Little Bang would blow up everywhere, having social media accounts and even fun events dedicated to it. Star86 had its own Twitter account where they post frequently. There was the Double Scoop, a popular blog on Tumblr where many people would report on and blog events going on in the game. There was the Ship of the Week, an event where players' spaceships would be featured to the public. It was obvious that people loved the game, young players and even teenagers alike. On its current trajectory, high hopes seem to be in store for the Big Little Bang team. So after a bomb may explode, dust and smoke will begin to settle. At the beginning of the year 2013, the game would officially launch and rebrand as Star86. Finally! the company, Big Little Bang, would rebrand to Drumleaf. This was a time of corporate expansion for the company, as they began to take on new ideas and projects. However, a lot of what happened behind the scenes was just kept there, or rather even unsaid. It was a more mysterious time for the company, and I couldn't gather a lot of information on what was going on during this time because there simply wasn't anything archived. As updates became more scarce, it seemed like things were slowing down for the game. There would be a depleting number of engagements between the player base and staff, and people started to wonder what was going on. But little did they know, there were things happening behind the scenes at Drumleaf that had been going on even since before Star86 had fully released. Prior to the name Star86 being trademarked, Drumleaf trademarked another name called Universe City. Universe City was a project Drumleaf had been working on that was planned to be a multiplayer mobile game for children. It took a more educational approach to Star86, looking to enter the demographic of entertaining younger children. This is possibly because even though the original demographic of Star86 was marketed toward younger children, it instead grew more popular among teenagers. So as a result, Drumleaf wanted to keep persisting to aim at the original demographic through their newer project. This game looks eerily similar to Star86, with similar concepts, and even borrowed some of the same assets from the game. There were a lot of resources going into Universe City, and also other side projects, and Drumleaf was adamant on starting it up. However, even with all the work and resources being put into this upcoming game, it was never released to the public. Many of Drumleaf's side projects would also never take off. My theory is that Star86 probably failed because of the neglect and lack of communication from the Drumleaf team. While they wanted to pursue more projects, it was obvious that they shouldn't have kept their flagship game in the dust. And while the company wanted to expand, they simply don't have the funds and resources to keep their breadwinner going at that point. As a result, the Star86 team would announce their eventual closure, giving them 1 month's notice to their player base. They would freak the hell out. Some of the players thought that this was some joke. Others would voice their opinions in either video format or on the Ask Toodlepip Tumblr blog. Even I tried to voice my opinion, but when I tried to record a YouTube video, I was too stupid to figure out how to upload it, so it just simply didn't upload. Well, regardless of how upset they were, they couldn't do anything about their given situation. And so, Star86 would close on July 31st, 2014, with a final player base of roughly 750,000 players. And ever since then, Star86 is never archived after closure, thus causing it to become lost media. It would eventually fade into obscurity, like many of Drumleaf's other games, never seeing the light of day again. So let's fast forward a bit in time here. Roughly a year ago, a Discord server to revive the Star86 community was made, alongside the Tumblr page known as the Dubble Archives. When all seemed lost, the game would soon be found once again. With the help of a few friends, a user by the name of Joker would unearth old files of Star86 on an old hard drive. Game scripts, assets, and models would come to light after roughly 8 years of radio silence. The game would once again see the light of day. It was a miracle. What had only seemed like a measly 2 MB of file data turned into a goldmine of all the game scripts and some of the 3D models. Although there weren't many textures and models, the fact that any of the game files were found at all was a massive bombshell. Now, we can only wonder how many files of Star86 still exist today, but players have no need to wonder anymore. That is why we need your help. The files are still out there somewhere, it's only a matter of finding them. If you used to play this game, you might be able to find them yourself on your hard drive. You can then join the Discord server, link in the description, if you have these files or if you need help finding them. Even if you don't have any of them, you can still join the server to reconnect with the people who have also played the game, like me. Either way, it's a project that'll likely take a long time to complete, but we still have high hopes. So, that only leaves us, the Star86 players, with one final question. Will you revive me? I'd like to give a huge shout out to Nearly 2A for peer reviewing my script, and you should go check him out when you get the chance. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications, so I'll be posting more videos about lost media, video games, anime, commentary, and etc. in the future.